The Thunder win Game 2 of the NBA Finals, 123-107 to even up the series at one game apiece. Just a really dominant showing. There's that brief little time there in the first quarter when the Pacers were up 20-17. Thunder eventually took the lead, and they never gave it back. Never gave it back. They just kind of ran away with it. And Tyrese Haliburton, he's going to be the main story coming out of this because he wasn't very good. Only 5 points and 4 assists going into the fourth quarter. Finished the game with 17 points and 6 assists. And so, if you just look at the box score, you're like, he was fine. He wasn't. It's like some of the fakest 12 points or one of the fakest 17-point performances you'll ever see. He scores 12 in the fourth quarter, and he wasn't even more aggressive. He just actually made threes. Like, he was 3 of 8 from 3 on the game, and he made 2 of them in the fourth quarter when the game was already out of hand. He hit a couple late floaters and all those things, but just a really bad night from a guy who has to be better if the Pacers want any sort of chance to win this series. Like, he could be awesome, and the Pacers could still lose the series because the Thunder are just that good. And we saw it tonight. The reason why Tyrese Haliburton struggled so much is he never got into the paint. The Pacers offense is built on getting into the lane because spacing starts at the rim, because obviously if you get to the rim, the defense collapses, and then you can kick it out to the Aaron Nesmiths and the Miles Turners and the Andrew Nembhards of the world, and all of a sudden the Pacers are hitting a whole bunch of threes, and you're in trouble. And the Pacers just couldn't get into the paint tonight. They took 82 shots, 40 of them were threes. They didn't record a single paint point in the first quarter. Tyrese Haliburton only touched the paint 6 times. That's just not good enough if the Pacers want any sort of chance to win this series, because their offense starts at the rim. More specifically, it starts with Haliburton getting to the rim. He didn't do that tonight. And, 8 of his 13 shots were threes. Like, that's just not good enough from him. He's got to be better at getting into the lane. Part of this is the Thunder's defense makes everyone just kind of hang out on the perimeter because every guy that they put on the floor has the ability to stay in front of whoever they're defending. Except for Pascal Siakam. The Thunder do not have a good matchup for Pascal Siakam. And Tyrese Haliburton is going to take the brunt of the criticism after this game, and he should, because he's the Pacers' best player. Pascal Siakam only took 11 shots. I think that was not entirely his fault. I was pretty frustrated in that first half. I felt like he had some matchups where he would seal Cason Wallace or Alex Caruso or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or whoever, and the Pacers would look at him and then not give him the basketball. And that can't work. He's really the only guy for the Pacers that the Thunder don't have a good option for. Like Chet Holmgren can't really stay in front of him. Same for Hartenstein. And then everyone else on their roster is just too small. And Pascal Siakam's a good player when he's able to put his back to the basket. And so he didn't touch the ball very much. He had a stint at the end of the third quarter where he did, and he went like and one, a layup, an assist to Aaron Nesmith where he hit a 3, and then like another layup. And all of a sudden, the Pacers cut like a 21-point lead down to 13 or whatever it ended up being. So when he touches the ball consistently, good things happen. He didn't get a ton of consistent touches tonight in the second quarter when the Thunder really kind of took the game over and never gave it back. It came when the Pacers put Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin, and TJ McConnell on the floor, all 5 together. And I thought Mathurin and McConnell had the ball way too much. And they weren't generating offense. They weren't scoring at the rim like they normally do. And that allowed for Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams and the rest of the guys for the Thunder that were on the floor to kind of take advantage and stretch out the lead. So when Siakam's on the floor without Haliburton, he's got to touch the ball way more often than what he did tonight in those minutes. I do think that that's a pretty easy adjustment for the Pacers to make. And when they make that adjustment, they'll be better in those non-Haliburton minutes. And I talk a lot about the third Pacer. Like, whenever you watch this Pacers team play, Andrew Nembhard had a big game 1, or, Aaron Nesmith, big game 1 against New York. Miles Turner will have nights where he's awesome. He didn't really get any of that tonight. Didn't really get it in game 1 either. He had some timely shot making. Well, I guess, no, that's not true. Game 1, it would have been Obi Toppin or Andrew Nembhard. Game 2 tonight, though, he didn't really get it. Miles Turner had like a nice little stretch there at the start of the third quarter where he drew a couple fouls, played good defense on Chet Holmgren. He hit a 3, did all that within like the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. It's like, all right, Miles Turner, he's going to be the third guy tonight. It just kind of took him a bit to get going. But after that, like 3-minute stretch in the third quarter, you didn't really hear from him again. Aaron Nesmith hit, 4 threes on the night, but you didn't really feel his impact on offense like you can Defensively, I thought he was good, but offensively, like it wasn't really there. Andrew Nembhard had like a really good first like 5.5 minutes. He scores 6 points, has a steal, but that was really it. Finished the night with 11 points and 4 assists. It's like, so like there wasn't like none of the role players for the Pacers were awesome. Obi Toppin was only 1 of 8 from the field. So like they didn't get that third guy to show up either. Like Tyrese Haliburton was their leading scorer, and he only had 17 points. That is very problematic. Meanwhile, the Thunder, they had pretty much everybody showed up. Alex Caruso has 20 off the bench. Aaron Wiggins, he has 18. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes and gets 34. Chet Holmgren was a lot better, 15 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Jalen Williams, he had 19, was only 5 of 14 from the floor, but he took 9 foul shots, made 8 of them. So like they had several guys show up, and this to me was the biggest difference between game 1 and game 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in game 1 goes for 38 points, but he only had 3 assists. And the Thunder role players didn't consistently make shots. I thought that the Pacers defense was really good at not allowing those other guys to get open. Tonight, that didn't happen. Didn't happen at all in game 2. 34 points and 8 assists for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If he's going to score 34 points and also have 8 assists, and Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins are going to combine to make 9 threes, and Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins are going to combine to outscore the Indiana Pacers bench, plus you get good contributions from Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. If that happens the next 3 games, then this series is going to be over in 5. Simple as that. So the Thunder did a much better job of getting their role players open, and the Pacers did a really bad job of rotating. There were several possessions where there were some clear miscommunications on like, you've got him. Oh, wait, no, I've got him. Well, no. He has him. I feel like that happened a few times. There were multiple possessions where you would look at Tyrese Haliburton, he'd be putting his hands up, looking around like whose guy was that? So the offense from the Thunder was a lot better. The defense from the Pacers was a lot worse. They allowed Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to split multiple double teams coming off of a screen, and when you do that, like the Thunder are playing 4-on-3. You got the screener behind Shai plus the 2 defenders, and look, man, like if you're playing 4-on-3, I don't care how good your defense is. Like you're probably not going to get a stop most of the time. And the Pacers didn't. They didn't get a stop most of the time whenever that happened. It usually resulted in either a layup or a wide open 3 from Aaron Wiggins or Alex Caruso. So Pacers got to find a way to defend Shai Gilgeous-Alexander better when he's coming off those screens. For the Thunder, if they continue to make the Pacers take 43s a game, they'll probably lose another one just because the Pacers will have a night where they're really hot and they'll shoot 42% on those 43s. They'll probably lose that one. But over the course of the series, I think that bodes pretty well for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I still like the Thunder in 6. Game 3 on Wednesday is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Make sure you subscribe because I'm going to have a video up on it after the game. I'll probably do a preview as well. You don't want to miss that either. So subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.